Group 2. Akusala Chaitasika, often translated as immoral or unwholesome mental factors, are a group of mental factors in Buddhism. Akusala Chaitasika encompass a range of mental qualities and tendencies that arise in the mind and lead to unskillful actions, harmful consequences, and the perpetuation of suffering. They are characterized by ignorance, craving, aversion, and delusion. Unwholesome mental factors hinder spiritual development and lead to suffering and bondage. They cloud the mind, distort perceptions, and reinforce habits of craving, aversion, and delusion, perpetuating the cycle of samsara. Unwholesome mental factors arise dependent on various causes and conditions, including the presence of ignorance, craving, aversion, and delusion, as well as past habits and conditioning. They are influenced by factors such as past karma, environmental stimuli, and mental association. A. Sabha Kusala Sadharana Chaitasika are the universal immoral factors, or the primary unwholesome mental factors. These are mental factors that are considered universally unwholesome and detrimental to spiritual development in Buddhism. They are the opposite of the universal wholesome factors. Sabha Kusala Sadharana Chaitasika. They are considered primary defilements, kilesas, in Buddhism, and are fundamental obstacles to spiritual progress. 14. Moha, often translated as delusion, ignorance, or confusion. Moha refers to the mental quality of not seeing things clearly, as they truly are. It involves a fundamental misunderstanding or ignorance of the true nature of reality, oneself, and the world. Moha obscures wisdom and perpetuates the cycle of samsara. In Buddhist teachings, delusion moha is identified as one of the three roots of unwholesomeness, along with greed lobha and hatred dosa. These three roots are considered the primary causes of suffering and the driving forces behind unskillful actions and negative mental states. Moha manifests in various forms, including ignorance of the Four Noble Truths. Moha obscures understanding of the nature of suffering, its causes, its cessation, and the path leading to its cessation. Moha leads to the mistaken belief in the permanence and stability of phenomena, thereby causing attachment, clinging, and aversion. Moha fosters the illusion of a permanent, independent self-atta, leading to self-centered desires, cravings, and conflicts. Moha influences the arising of other unwholesome mental factors, such as greed lobha and hatred dosa. By distorting perceptions, beliefs, and attitudes, it leads to confusion, doubt, and misunderstanding, which in turn give rise to negative emotions and harmful behaviors. Delusion moha is considered a major obstacle to spiritual development and liberation. It clouds the mind, obscures wisdom, and reinforces habits of craving, aversion, and self-centeredness. Overcoming delusion is essential for cultivating insight, wisdom, and liberation from suffering. 15. Ahirika, often translated as shamelessness or lack of moral shame. Ahirika refers to the absence or deficiency of a sense of moral shame or conscience. It is the inability or unwillingness to recognize and feel ashamed of one's unwholesome actions, thoughts, or intentions. Moral shame serves as a natural deterrent against unwholesome actions and behaviors. It rises from a sense of moral conscience and concern for the welfare and happiness of oneself and others. Ahirika, on the other hand, leads to a disregard for ethical principles and a lack of consideration for the consequences of one's actions. Ahirika may manifest in various forms, including engaging in unethical behaviors without feeling remorse or guilt, ignoring or rationalizing one's harmful actions and their impact on oneself and others, prioritizing personal gain or gratification over moral integrity and ethical principles, having a callous or indifferent attitude towards the suffering and well-being of others. Ahirika perpetuates the cycle of unwholesome actions and their karmic consequences. It undermines moral integrity, erodes trust and respect in relationships, and leads to inner turmoil and discontent. Over time, the lack of moral shame can lead to further moral degeneration and spiritual suffering. 16. Anotapa, often translated as fearlessness of wrongdoing or lack of moral dread. Anotapa refers to the absence or deficiency of a sense of moral concern or dread regarding the consequences of unwholesome actions. It is the inability or unwillingness to recognize and feel apprehensive about engaging in harmful behaviors due to ethical considerations. Moral dread serves as a natural deterrent against unwholesome actions and behaviors. It rises from a sense of moral conscience and concern for the welfare and happiness of oneself and others. Anotapa, on the other hand, leads to a disregard for ethical principles and a lack of consideration for the consequences of one's actions. Anotapa may manifest in various forms, including engaging in unethical behaviors without considering the potential harm or consequences, rationalizing or justifying one's harmful actions to oneself or others, disregarding warnings or advice regarding the negative effects of unwholesome behaviors, overestimating one's abilities or invincibility, leading to reckless or heedless behavior. Anotapa perpetuates the cycle of unwholesome actions and their karmic consequences. It undermines moral integrity, erodes trust and respect in relationships, and leads to inner turmoil and discontent. Over time, the lack of moral dread can lead to further moral degeneration and spiritual suffering. 17. Adoka, often translated as restlessness or agitation. Adoka refers to the mental quality of agitation, disturbance, or disquietude. It involves a restless and unsettled state of mind, characterized by inner turmoil, distraction, and inability to focus. Adoka may manifest in various forms, including mental agitation and unease, characterized by a constant stream of distracting thoughts and impulses. Physical restlessness, manifested as fidgeting, pacing, or an inability to sit still. Emotional agitation, marked by feelings of anxiety, impatience, or frustration. Adoka arises due to various causes and conditions, including attachment and craving. Restlessness often arises from attachment to desires and expectations, leading to a sense of dissatisfaction and agitation when those desires are unfulfilled. Aversion, restlessness can also arise from aversion towards present circumstances or experiences, leading to a desire to escape or avoid them. Delusion and confusion. Restlessness may stem from a lack of clarity or understanding, leading to mental agitation and uncertainty about one's thoughts, feelings, or perceptions. Restlessness is a significant obstacle to concentration samadhi. In meditation practice, it disrupts the continuity of attention and prevents the mind from settling into a state of calm and clarity. Instead of focusing on the meditation object, the restless mind jumps from one thought to another, hindering progress on the path. Adoka leads to a scattered and agitated mind, making it difficult to cultivate mindfulness, concentration, and insight. It perpetuates the cycle of mental agitation and suffering, hindering spiritual development and the attainment of liberation. B. Pakanokar Kasala Chetasika, often translated as particular unwholesome mental factors, are a group of mental factors in Buddhism. Pakinika Kusala Chetasika encompass a range of specific mental qualities and tendencies that arise in the mind and contribute to unskillful actions, harmful consequences, and the perpetuation of suffering. They are considered variations or specific instances of the primary unwholesome mental factors. Particular unwholesome factors hinder spiritual development and lead to suffering and bondage by clouding the mind, distorting perceptions, and reinforcing habits of craving, aversion, and delusion. They perpetuate the cycle of samsara and obstruct the path to liberation. Particular unwholesome factors arise dependent on various causes and conditions, including the presence of underlying defilements, kilesas, past habits, and conditioning, environmental stimuli, and mental associations. They are influenced by factors such as ignorance, craving, aversion, and delusion. 18. Lobha, often translated as greed, attachment, or craving. Lobha refers to the mental quality of craving, desire, or attachment towards sensory pleasures, material possessions, and self-centered gratification. It involves an insatiable longing for fulfillment and a distorted perception of happiness and satisfaction. In Buddhist teachings, greed lobha is identified as one of the three roots of unwholesomeness, along with hatred dosa and delusion moha. These three roots are considered the primary causes of suffering and the driving forces behind unskillful actions and negative mental states. Lobha may manifest in various forms, including craving for sensual pleasures, attachment to pleasant sights, sounds, tastes, smells, and tactile sensations, seeking gratification through sensory experiences, clinging to possessions, attachment to material wealth, status, and possessions, seeking security and identity through external means, self-centered desires, attachment to self-centered desires, ambitions and goals, seeking personal gain and recognition at the expense of others. Greed lobha influences the arising of other unwholesome mental factors, such as hatred dosa and delusion moha. By distorting perceptions, beliefs, and attitudes, it leads to feelings of dissatisfaction, craving, and aversion, perpetuating the cycle of mental agitation and suffering. Lobha is a major obstacle to spiritual development and liberation. It leads to attachment, clinging, and craving, which bind individuals to the cycle of samsara and prevent them from realizing the true nature of reality and finding lasting happiness. 19. Dithi, often translated as wrong view or distorted perception. Dithi refers to the mental quality of holding distorted or erroneous views about oneself, others, and the world. It involves a misunderstanding or misperception of the true nature of reality, leading to unwholesome actions and beliefs. In Buddhist teachings, wrong view dithi is identified as one of the three roots of unwholesomeness, along with greed lobha and hatred dosa. These three roots are considered the primary causes of suffering and the driving forces behind unskillful actions and negative mental states. Dithi may manifest in various forms, including belief in a permanent and independent self-atta. Wrong view often involves clinging to the illusion of a fixed and enduring self or ego entity, leading to self-centered desires, fears, and conflicts. Belief in eternalism or nihilism. Wrong view may involve extreme views about the nature of existence, such as the belief in an eternal soul, or the belief in annihilation after death, leading to attachment or aversion towards life and death. Denial of the law of karma. Wrong view may involve denial or ignorance of the law of karma, cause and effect, leading to a disregard for ethical conduct and a sense of moral responsibility. Wrong view dithi influences the arising of other unwholesome mental factors, such as greed lobha and hatred dosa. By distorting perceptions, beliefs, and attitudes, it leads to confusion, doubt, and misunderstanding, perpetuating the cycle of mental agitation and suffering. Wrong view is a major obstacle to spiritual development and liberation. It leads to ignorance, delusion, and attachment to erroneous beliefs, preventing individuals from understanding the true nature of reality and finding lasting happiness. 20. Mana, often translated as conceit or pride. Mana refers to the mental quality of overestimating one's own virtues, qualities, or accomplishments, while simultaneously underestimating or disparaging others. It involves a distorted perception of oneself and others, leading to feelings of superiority, inferiority, or equality. Mana can manifest in various forms, including superiority conceit, feeling superior or better than others, based on perceived accomplishments, qualities, or social status. Inferiority conceit, feeling inferior or lesser than others, often accompanied by self-doubt, insecurity, or low self-esteem. Equality conceit, viewing oneself as equal to others, failing to recognize differences in skill, wisdom, or virtue. Mana arises due to various causes and conditions, including comparison and competition. Mana often arises in the context of comparing oneself to others and seeking validation or recognition from others. Attachment to self. Mana is fueled by attachment to a fixed and enduring sense of self or identity, leading to self-centered desires, fears, and conflicts. Ignorance of interdependence. Mana stems from a lack of understanding of the interconnectedness and interdependence of all beings, leading to a sense of separateness and division. Conceit mana influences the arising of other unwholesome mental factors, such as greed lobha and hatred dosa. By distorting perceptions, beliefs, and attitudes, it leads to feelings of pride, envy, jealousy, and resentment, perpetuating the cycle of mental agitation and suffering. Conceit is a major obstacle to spiritual development and harmony. It leads to division, conflict, and disharmony in relationships and communities. It also hinders personal growth and self-awareness, preventing individuals from recognizing their own limitations and cultivating humility and compassion. 21. Dosa, often translated as hatred, aversion, or ill will. Dosa refers to the mental quality of aversion, anger, or hostility towards oneself or others. It involves a rejection or resistance to unpleasant experiences, situations, or individuals, and a desire to eliminate or avoid them. Dosa may manifest in various forms, including anger, strong feelings of displeasure, resentment, or indignation towards oneself or others, often accompanied by a desire for retaliation or harm. Hatred, intense aversion or animosity towards specific individuals, groups, or circumstances, often fueled by past grievances or perceived injustices. Irritability, a tendency to react negatively or aggressively to minor irritations, frustrations, or inconveniences. Envy, resentment or jealousy towards others' success, happiness, or possessions, leading to feelings of inferiority or inadequacy. Dosa arises due to various causes and conditions, including attachment and aversion. Hatred often arises as a reaction to the frustration of desires, or the experience of unpleasant sensations or emotions. Ignorance of impermanence and non-self. Dosa stems from a lack of understanding of the impermanent and conditioned nature of phenomena, leading to a sense of ownership, entitlement, or control. Dosa may arise as a conditioned response to past experiences, traumas, or social conditioning, perpetuating cycles of reactivity and conflict. Hatred dosa influences the arising of other unwholesome mental factors, such as greed lobha and delusion moha. By distorting perceptions, beliefs, and attitudes, it leads to feelings of aggression, resentment, and hostility, perpetuating the cycle of mental agitation and suffering. Hatred is a major obstacle to spiritual development and liberation. It leads to division, conflict, and disharmony in relationships and communities. It also hinders personal growth and self-awareness, preventing individuals from cultivating compassion, forgiveness, and equanimity. 22. Issa, often translated as envy or jealousy, refers to the mental quality of covetousness, envy, or resentment towards others' achievements, possessions, or qualities. It involves a comparison of oneself to others, and a sense of inadequacy or inferiority in relation to their perceived advantages or successes. Issa may manifest in various forms, including resentment, feelings of bitterness, discontent, or ill will towards individuals who possess what one desires but lacks, jealousy, fear or suspicion of losing what one has to others, or being surpassed by them, leading to possessiveness or rivalry, ingratitude, failure to appreciate or rejoice in others' good fortune or accomplishments, due to feelings of resentment or envy, self-pity, dwelling on one's perceived lack or misfortune in comparison to others, leading to feelings of victimization or self-pity. Envy often arises as a reaction to the attachment to desires or the aversion to unpleasant feelings associated with others' success or possessions. Issa stems from a lack of understanding of the impermanent and conditioned nature of phenomena, leading to a sense of ownership or identification with possessions or qualities. Issa may arise from comparing oneself unfavorably to others, or feeling threatened by their achievements or advantages, leading to feelings of inadequacy or insecurity. 23. Makaria, often translated as stinginess or meanness. Makaria refers to the mental quality of selfishness, possessiveness, or reluctance to give or share with others. It involves a narrow-minded focus on one's own interests, needs, or desires, often at the expense of others' welfare or well-being. Makaria may manifest in various forms, including hoarding, accumulating wealth, possessions, or resources beyond what is necessary for one's own well-being, out of fear of scarcity or loss, greed, clinging to material possessions or wealth, unwilling to part with them even when others are in need or deserving, selfishness, prioritizing one's own interests, desires, or comfort over the needs or well-being of others, leading to a lack of generosity or empathy, miserliness, being overly cautious or frugal in sharing one's time, energy, or resources, even when it would benefit others or contribute to the common good. Stinginess often stems from attachment to possessions or fear of loss, as well as aversion towards the discomfort or inconvenience of giving. Makaria arises from a lack of understanding of the interconnectedness and interdependence of all beings, leading to a sense of separation and self-concern. Stinginess may arise as a conditioned response to past experiences, upbringing, or social conditioning, perpetuating cycles of selfishness and self-protection. Stinginess Makaria influences the arising of other unwholesome mental factors, such as greed lobha and aversion dosa, by distorting perceptions, beliefs, and attitudes. It leads to feelings of attachment, fear, and self-centeredness, perpetuating the cycle of mental agitation and suffering. 24. Kukucha, often translated as worry or remorse, refers to the mental quality of agitation, anxiety, or regret arising from past actions, decisions, or circumstances. It involves dwelling on perceived mistakes, shortcomings, or missed opportunities, leading to feelings of guilt, shame, or self-blame. Kukucha may manifest in various forms, including regret, feelings of sorrow or remorse over past actions or decisions, accompanied by a sense of guilt, or responsibility for the consequences, self-reproach, criticism, or blame directed towards oneself, for perceived failures, shortcomings, or inadequacies, leading to feelings of unworthiness or self-loathing, anxiety, persistent worry or apprehension about the future, fueled by concerns about potential mistakes, failures, or negative outcomes, rumination, obsessive dwelling on past events or mistakes, replaying them in the mind and experiencing emotional distress or turmoil. Worry and remorse often stem from attachment to desired outcomes or aversion towards undesirable consequences, leading to feelings of disappointment or regret. When expectations are not met, kukucha arises from a lack of understanding of the impermanent and conditioned nature of phenomena, leading to a sense of ownership or identification with past actions or circumstances. Worry and remorse may arise as a conditioned response to past experiences, traumas, or social conditioning, perpetuating cycles of self-criticism and suffering. Worry and remorse kukucha influence the arising of other unwholesome mental factors, such as doubt, vichikika, and agitation, adoka. By distorting perceptions, beliefs, and attitudes, they lead to feelings of self-doubt, anxiety, and agitation, perpetuating the cycle of mental agitation and suffering. 25. Thena, often translated as sloth or lethargy, refers to the mental quality of dullness, laziness, or lethargy that hinders mental and physical activity. It involves a lack of energy, enthusiasm, or motivation to engage in wholesome activities or pursue spiritual goals. Thena may manifest in various forms, including physical sluggishness, a lack of physical energy or vitality, leading to feelings of heaviness, fatigue, or drowsiness. Mental dullness, a lack of mental clarity or alertness, characterized by a foggy or muddled state of mind, making it difficult to focus or concentrate. Procrastination, delaying or avoiding tasks or responsibilities due to a lack of motivation or initiative, leading to feelings of frustration or guilt. Aversion to effort, resistance or reluctance to exert effort or apply oneself fully to tasks or challenges, leading to stagnation or complacency. Sloth often stems from attachment to comfort, pleasure, or relaxation, leading to a reluctance to engage in activities that require effort or discipline. Sloth may arise as a reaction to unpleasant sensations or experiences, such as boredom, frustration, or stress, leading to a desire to escape or avoid them. Sloth may arise from a lack of inspiration, purpose, or meaning in one's life, leading to a sense of apathy or disconnection from one's goals or values. Sloth Thena influences the arising of other unwholesome mental factors, such as doubt, vichikika, and restlessness, adoka. By inhibiting mental clarity and energy, it leads to feelings of apathy, inertia, and disengagement, perpetuating the cycle of mental sluggishness and suffering. 26. Midda, often translated as torpor or drowsiness. Midda refers to the mental quality of dullness, lethargy, or drowsiness that inhibits mental and physical activity. It involves a lack of mental and physical energy, leading to a sluggish, heavy state of mind. Midda may manifest in various forms, including mental dullness, a lack of mental clarity, alertness, or responsiveness, characterized by a foggy or muddled state of mind, making it difficult to focus or concentrate. Physical lethargy, a lack of physical energy or vitality, leading to feelings of heaviness, fatigue, or drowsiness. Sleepiness, a tendency to feel drowsy or nod off, particularly during meditation or periods of extended concentration, leading to a loss of mindfulness and awareness. Mental fog, a sense of mental inertia or sluggishness, making it difficult to engage with thoughts, emotions, or sensory experiences, leading to a sense of disconnection or disengagement. Torpor may arise due to physical factors, such as fatigue, illness, or lack of sleep, leading to a depletion of energy and vitality. Torpor may arise as a reaction to mental factors, such as boredom, stress, or aversion, leading to a desire to withdraw or disengage from the present moment. Torpor may arise due to environmental factors, such as temperature, lighting, or noise levels, which can affect one's level of alertness and wakefulness. Torpor midda influences the arising of other unwholesome mental factors, such as doubt vijikika and restlessness adhaka. By inhibiting mental clarity and alertness, it leads to feelings of apathy, inertia, and disengagement, perpetuating the cycle of mental sluggishness and suffering. 27. Vijikiccha, often translated as doubt, uncertainty, or skepticism, refers to the mental quality of uncertainty, hesitation, or skepticism regarding matters of faith, morality, or understanding. It involves questioning or doubting the validity, reliability, or efficacy of teachings, practices, or beliefs. Vijikiccha may manifest in various forms, including skepticism, a tendency to question or doubt the truth or authenticity of religious or philosophical teachings, practices, or doctrines. Indecision, difficulty making decisions, or committing to a particular course of action due to uncertainty or lack of confidence in one's judgment or beliefs. Confusion, mental agitation, or turmoil, arising from conflicting beliefs, opinions, or information, leading to a sense of ambiguity or disorientation. Wavering faith, fluctuations in one's confidence or trust in spiritual teachings, practices, or communities, leading to feelings of insecurity or doubt. Doubt may arise from a lack of clarity or understanding regarding complex or abstract concepts, leading to confusion or ambiguity. Doubt may arise from a critical or analytical approach to beliefs, teachings, or experiences, leading to questioning or skepticism. Doubt may arise from past experiences of disappointment, disillusionment, or betrayal, leading to distrust or skepticism towards spiritual authorities or traditions. Doubt may arise from fear or anxiety about uncertainty, change, or the unknown, leading to a desire for certainty or security. Doubt vijikiccha influences the arising of other unwholesome mental factors, such as worry kukucha and restlessness adhaka. By inhibiting confidence and clarity, it leads to feelings of indecision, confusion, and hesitation, perpetuating the cycle of mental agitation and suffering.